Hello, in this video we're going to show you how to assemble this cabinet, but before we get started, here's a few things to keep in mind. Estimated time for assembly is about 40 minutes with 2 people and a little bit longer with 1. Just make sure you have a Phillips head screwdriver and be sure that all the pieces are facing the right way as you're putting it together and you'll do great. In this video we're going to focus on the trickier parts and go quickly through the easier steps, so just make sure you pause the video and complete all the steps as we go. So let's get into it. In step 1 we're going to insert dowels into pieces 1, 2, 4, and 9. And cam bolts into pieces 2, 3, and 4. Okay, we're good to move on. In step 2, we're going to insert the panels into the doors and attach the hinges. So we'll start with the panels, and these will just set inside the notch inside the door. And then we're going to secure those in place with these little fin pieces. And these will attach with the screws into the holes around the panel. And just make sure that the screw goes into the side that has a little countersunk part, and then it'll be more flush. So we'll attach all of these with screws. Okay, once all of those are on, we can move on and put on the hinges. So we'll just take this little cup part, and that goes inside the hole on the doors here. And then we'll secure those with screws. Okay, then we're good to move on. In steps 3 and 4, we're going to attach the side pieces along with this middle piece. So with the side pieces, we just want to match up the sides so that these grooves line up along this piece, and these cam bolts are going to go into the side of this piece. So it should line up like that. And then we can stand this up and put in cam locks in the back. And then we'll take this other side piece and get it ready to line up. And then with this bar, we want this unfinished edge to be facing this way when we insert it in these holes here. Then we'll sandwich that between the 2 side pieces, and we'll insert the cam bolts on this end. And then we'll lock that in place with the cam locks on the back here. Okay, next we can move on to step 5, and we'll insert the back panel. So this will just slide into the grooves here. And just make sure that goes all the way into the bottom. And then next in step 6, we can put on the top piece. And for this, just make sure that this groove here is lining up with the back panel. And then once that's on, we'll insert cam locks along the inside. Okay, then we're good to move on. In steps 7 and 8, we're going to attach the doors to the piece and the door handles to the doors. So we'll start with step 7, and we'll attach the doors. So we'll take the screw and put it into the hinge. Then we'll line up our screwdriver with it, and then hold it up to the piece and line it up with the hole. And then if the hole's not quite lining up, you may just need to extend the hinge to get it to line up. So we'll put 1 screw in the top hinge to start, and 1 in the bottom just to get everything lined up. Then we can put in the other 2 screws. Okay, once those are on, we can attach the door handle. So we'll take bolts E, those will go through the inside and go into the holes on the handle on the outside. And then before tightening that completely, make sure you get both in at least part way, and then you can tighten them. Okay, so that's step 7 and 8, and then we can do the same thing with the other door in steps 9 and 10, then we're good to move on. In step 11, we'll be attaching these plastic wedges around the frame on the back. So with these, we'll take the thin edge, and that'll go into the piece, and then we'll put a screw into that. And we'll do the same thing for the other 3 wedges. Okay, we're good to move on. In step 12, we're going to attach the feet. So we'll take these long screws, and those will go in through the bottom of the foot. And then these will attach to the 5 holes on the bottom. Okay, once all of the feet are on, then we're good to move on. In steps 13 and 14, if you buy multiples of these pieces, you can arrange them into the different configurations that you want. And then we'll also have a separate video to show you how to attach those together. And then in step 15, you'll use the wood stickers to cover all of the holes, and then we're done. We hope this video was helpful for you when assembling your new cabinet. For more guides, tips, and tricks, go to walkeredison.com.